Okay, guys. So in this video, I'm going to give you a quick overview of how to create custom roles and assign those roles to certain users in Power BI service. So in the modeling tab, so I've created this dashboard and I want certain people to be able to access certain views or certain uh, data sets within this dashboard. So in the modeling tab, I go here and I click manage as roles. Manage roles. Okay, so if I click manage roles, it's going to bring up a dialog where I can create new roles. And so in this particular data set, in this particular dashboard, I want the admin to be able to see everything, and I want um, the supervisors to see certain details, and I want the operators uh, to not see the defect rates. Okay, so defect data, defect rates. I don't want the operators to see that. So here you can see that when I can click create here, and it will allow me to type a new role. So let's say that I wanted to create a fourth role called, um, let's say I want to call it data analyst. Okay, so I'm just pretending, but bear with me. So if I want to create a role for a data analyst, I type that, and then I can select which table I'm creating this role on. So, for example, if I want to create a role on production data, I want to restrict this data analyst to certain production data. Then I'll type that here, and then I can write a DAX expression here. Okay, so um, I've already created the roles. So I gave you in the instructions the filter expressions, the DAX filter expressions for each role, admin, operator, and supervisor in this exercise. So what I'm going to do instead is I'll just show you, because you can copy and paste the DAX expressions that I already created for filtering uh, to give the admin, the operator, and the line supervisor specific access to specific data sets or views of this dashboard. So I'm going to go back to manage role here and just show you the DAX expression. But essentially, in this assignment, all I want you to do is copy and paste the expressions, because you can always I use ChatGPT to create the expressions, and you can do that because it's obviously you can type your own DAX expression, but it might not be um, the DAX expression you need might not always be as simple as you would want it to be. So in this particular case, the admin, I want to grant filter by if the user is the admin, then I want the user, um, I want to identify the user by their email, and I want the admin to have access to everything. So I'm not really putting any restriction there. I'm just identifying this person as the admin. Okay, but in the case of the um, supervisor, if I go here, I want them to have only access to their specific region. So where the supervisor's region matches their role and their email, I want um, I want them to only have access to that data. So I gave you the DAX expression. I can get into more details about this later, but just paste the DAX expression that I gave you for the supervisor under the production data tables filter, and it will narrow down the production supervisor's view of this data set to only their region. Okay, so once you save that, you've created there are three different roles that I asked you to create. So once you save that and create that, you then go back to the home. So I wanted you to create the admin, the operator, and the supervisor roles. I gave you the DAX expressions for each one and which table they go on. So I'm just going to go back to the home, and once the roles have been created, I'm going to publish this um, to the Power BI 7. Okay, so from the Home tab, you can publish it. We already know how to do that. So I'm going to go here um, to I'm going to go to my Power BI 7 because I already published it. And so in the Power BI 7, you can see that when I published this previously, the roles that became available were admin, operator, and supervisor. And the admin role, I can add as many users as the admin, but I've already added myself, contact at phillycoda.com. So I used contact because once you have to be logged into your organization's account, and I already assigned myself that admin role. So obviously, um, when I click add, it's not going to re-add me. It's the same email. But let's say that, for example, that I wanted to make HR at phillycoda.com an admin as well. Okay, then I could select this user, and when I hit add, they'll be added as an admin. But let me make them a supervisor instead. So I'm going to supervisor, and then I click HR at phillycoda.com, and I'll make them the supervisor. So they will have that role. And so I save this here, and now HR has been added as a supervisor. So I can, if I had a third email in the organization, which I don't have, I would add them as the operator. But I'm just trying to get you to see how to assign the custom roles to certain people within the organization. So how did I get to this particular screen? I went to my workspace because that's where I published the data, and then I came here. I call the data set the dashboard user production line dashboard, and so it comes with its model, semantic model, and then next to the semantic model, you will see security, and then I go here, and you can see this is how I got to this window with row level security, and then I clicked on admin and assigned myself as the admin, and then supervisor, I just assigned HR. So that's how you would assign basic roles. Once you assign the roles, in the next video, we'll talk about how to create alerts and send custom emails. But that's it for this video, so I hope that clarifies that part.